Okay, so nobody's getting the truth from the mainstream media, folks. It's well past time to open your eyes, your ears, and your mind. Do your own research because something isn't right here. And if you can't see that, you are not paying attention, folks.
It's the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. Now that's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
The important message that we need Australians to get vaccinated as quickly as possible. In line with that, I do encourage all Australians to please go and book your vaccinations as soon as you can if you haven't already done so.
Emma, get away!
When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Okay, we need to stand up against this tyranny, folks. Stop giving away your freedoms and liberties, because the more you give up, the more these people will take until you have absolutely nothing left. That's their agenda. All right, good evening, viewers. How are we going? I'm not going to spend too much time on the intro today because we got Wade here with us, and he's on the side of the road. So we're going to bring him in and see what sort of chaos he's been causing down there in Parliament. Hopefully he's got these guys, you know, like niggling at each other, and, you know, the ones that want to stand up. So, you know, who knows? I know Wade's a very capable bloke. He's been there for a while. Great on him. Determination to stick in the Viper's pit there and get these guys going. So just quickly, guys, what we're noticing is I think we've got a clip on this later on. We just got Wade in for 10 or 15, as I said, because he's on the side of the road, and we might cover this in a while. But the flags, right? The Labor officers, I'm hearing, are not giving out the flags. Okay, so we're told that, yeah, you go and ask the Labor contingent for a flag. They go, no, we haven't got any. Now, in England, we've seen them ripping the flags down, all right, and there's been a big thing over there, and I think we should fly our flags over here too, guys. I think we should get it going. But I'll tell you right now, one of our people, Kim, who drives around with a bus, and he's always at, you know, all the different events that go on. He's an absolute legend. G'day, Kim and Milo. He's been pulled over in Sydney today and told to get his flag off his bus. So it's starting here too, guys. All right, that's what's going to happen. And just to push it along, all the stuff you've seen, if you haven't seen what's coming, now we have a Waddy pop prince, right, from Bollywood in India, coming out here to do major concerts, which I've got no problem with, but I'm just showing you what's going on. Major concerts. Now, they reckon they're going to fill stadiums all around Australia with this guy. And I tell you what, I don't think there'll be any Aussies in there. So again, that's big crowds, guys. It'll be a very interesting litmus test to see how many Indians actually turn up to see this guy from Bollywood, because I reckon they'll get 38 or 40,000 or maximum capacity to a stadium. Let's see what happens. And then we see where Albo's friggin' figures are. Anyway, let's get going. Let's get Wade in here and see what he's been up to, because I'm interested too. Hey, buddy, how are you?
G'day, Dave. How are you? And g'day, Caz. How are you too, mate?
Yeah, she's still in the background there doing a bit of shit, trying to share out, mate. So we'll leave her there, and you and I will hit the do what you're doing all the time, mate, where the rubber hits the road, brother. So what's happening in Canberra? You spinning wheels, or are you getting some traction?
No, it's rather interesting. We're starting to get a few more politicians now, I think, who are taking us a bit more serious, because we've come back again this sitting. We were there about 3 or 4 weeks ago, whatever it was. And we're getting a few politicians who they said, okay, contact our office and all this. They give you that crap. So we contact their office and they say, send emails and all this sort of thing. So now I'm coming back to them and say, well, we sent you an email a month ago. So let's not reinvent the wheel, let's get on with this. And so we're starting to push them around a little bit, and they're starting to perform. So we've done okay, I think, because the last thing that these politicians want to do is talk to somebody who's not the mainstream media who covers things up. But, we're really getting a great run from One Nation. We'll be interviewing. We'll also be interviewing a couple of others. So, I'm pretty sure we've got that sorted out. These things can change a bit at the last minute. So we've got Bob Catter organised for probably Monday or Tuesday next week.
He had a bit of a rant today, Wade.
So I heard something about he was going to rough up some bloke about a third of his age, apparently. And I thought, well, if anyone can, Bob can.
Yeah, well, he went and look. Bob jumped the gates a little bit. Everyone's a bit touchy at the moment out there, Wade. He's copping shit because he's backed this rally and that's going on. So everyone out there is like on tenterhooks. But yeah, he did lose it again. You can't do that sort of shit. You know what I mean? But the guy just mentioned his Lebanese background, and that was enough for Bob Catter to just jump the gun, get out of the boxes, and put the gloves on, mate, straight away.
Well, look, and honestly, we've got. I spoke to Alex Antic there yesterday, so we've got onto his office. He said get onto him and we'll organise a meeting and an interview. So we're getting a few more of them coming on board that are sort of weren't interested before.
Get on Jackie Lambie for me, will you, and give her a sort out, mate. And her comments today, she's off at chops, mate. My opinion.
So what did she say today, Dave? I haven't heard her comments.
We got that, Caz?
We have got that. Just hang on for a minute. I just have to take one out. And I'll just grab it. She's basically...
This should have a bit of a listen to this, Wade, and just see what you think, mate. This is our politicians. Like, really?
Oh, you got to shake your head.
It's ridiculous. But look, the wider community is waking up, mate.
They have the courage. They believe that the Australian government, all of us in here, are illegitimate. They believe that the rules and the social norms that the rest of us have to follow do not apply to them. And according to the Australian Federal Police, there is a history of Australians identifying with those ideas and setting up micronations. They're nuts. They lived in small communities and were regarded by law enforcement as being largely harmless. And then COVID-19 hit, and the government's response, lockdowns, mandatory vaccination combined with mis and disinformation on social media absolutely turbocharged the paranoia where it's now right off the charts. According to the AFP, these groups are organised, they have informal leadership structures, and they find common ground with the anti-vaxxers, far-right groups and conspiracy nutjobs, because there's no other way to put it.
She goes on, she's having a meltdown, and she calls us all sovereign citizens, but the key is what she's doing is she's creating a narrative that anti-vaxxers, anybody who challenges the law, anybody who defends themselves against wrongful judgments in court, basically anybody apart from the government are sovereign citizens.
So I've heard Jackie in the past lose it and have a king-size dummy spit. But so here's one of the things that we'll be trying to do. I'll be making attempts to interview Jackie Lambie and talk about the things where she doesn't just get an opportunity to stand up there in Parliament and blast off all her crap about decent people. And, you know, I had a discussion with an ABC journalist yesterday. And, you know, it came up about the so-called vaccine poisons, the COVID-19 lethal injections. And I said to her, in part, that, you know, I now know a hell of a lot of doctors and medical experts who have said categorically, point blank, that the ingredients and the parts in the so-called COVID-19 vaccine literally have no other purpose than to maim and kill people. That is the ingredients. So, you know, I will be I'll be going after Jackie Lambie and saying, well, listen, Jackie, you're pretty big at shooting your big mouth off when there's no one there to cross-examine you, because nobody in the government is going to cross-examine her or put her to the test. No one in the media is going to put her to the test. But let's see how you go with Farmer Wade, mate.
Farmer Wade, I just had to tell you, Peter Brayley has written, take some dog treats with you, Wade. You may need them, brother.
Yeah, to coax her into the room, Wade. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Well, I know. Like when Jackie Lambie first started off, I thought she was okay, you know.
We all think they're all okay when they start off, but all of them get into the rut, mate, and they just get bought out by the lobbyists and the backyard deals, and next minute they're all fucking gone, Wade.
So you listen to some of the interviews that we've done, especially with Victorian Senator Ralph Babet, and he laid it on the line. You know, he said these people get in here, and then this is the gravy train. You know, they don't want to get out of this. They're living a life of luxury, and so you know, you look at the likes of Jackie Lambie. I think if she had to stand on her achievements in order to really contest an election, then I think she'd be get rolled, actually. So at the end of the day, she now understands, well, I'm not putting words in her mouth, but this is my opinion. She understands that you have to play the game. And the game means that, you know, anybody who the government doesn't like, whether it's Liberals or Labor or whatever, you know, she plays the game, mate. She knows where the money is, and she's prepared to sell out Australians and sell out, in particular, you know, our RSL people and our military, who she claims to represent. So, as I said, you know, she's a big, tough, powerful senator. Let's see how she goes with Farmer Wade. If she's good enough, if she's got the guts, if she has enough brains, or she can put her big mouth quiet for 2 seconds and actually act like a decent human being. So we'll be certainly contacting her office tomorrow. She's on my list of people to ring. We'll be contacting her office, and I will be speaking about her, because I'm sick to death of rattlebrains like her who say that crap and just demonise everybody in this country. And, you know, when they talk about anti-vaxxers, I mean, I'd like the opportunity to say to Jackie Lambie, so let's break that down as to what specifically you are talking about. So, you know, so what we'll be doing is, as I touch base with other politicians and other bureaucrats, and, you know, we're starting to get to know quite a number of people in Canberra there, I'll be putting the pressure on them, saying, well, the party's over. You know, you don't just get an opportunity to sit up there and smash everyday decent Australians who work hard, decent Australians who try and provide for their family and contribute to our country, and with no pushback. So, you know, we are going to push back on these people, and we're going to make them accountable and say, you better be prepared to back up what you're saying, because you no longer just have an opportunity to sit there and take pot shots at people and throw grenades from the shadows whenever you feel like it.
Yep. Exactly, mate. Coercion is not a choice, and that's all they've been running on, coercion. It's just a load of bullshit, blackmail, whatever. But listen, man, keep us up to date then, Wade, and let us know what's going on, mate. Stay safe on the road while you're traveling, and we will catch up with you, buddy.
And
And
let
then
me just
Delcy,
before you
that's
go,
great.
you
this
run
is,
off.
guys, yeah, hang on
Yep.
a minute. This is
Yeah.
where you can donate to Wade. It's really important, guys, that you do donate to him so that he can keep that bus on the road. I'm going to put that into the links down here. So please, yeah, give him some money if you can, because he's doing a great job out there.
Cool.
Well, very
All
much
right, mate.
appreciate that. Very much appreciate that, Dave and Caz, because we appear to be in Canberra. We appear to be something unique, something that, all the people, hang on, drop the bloody thing. So many people in Parliament are now, saying to us, patting us on the back and going, look, you're doing a great job. We need people like you up here to hold these politicians to account. And random strangers are just coming up to us now and wanting to talk and saying how important it is and how much they're appreciating the stuff that we're doing, and we're going to come back again and again and again, so long as we can afford to fund it. We'll come back again and again, and we're going to take these politicians on, and we'll do it the likes, as I said, the likes you don't see on the ABC or Channel 9 or 7 or 10 or any of these other mainstream media. We're not scared of these people, and we're not being paid off to kiss their backsides and give them a free ride. So, we're going to rough them up and get into it, because all we want is just the truth, and we just want the people who we're paying to represent us to actually do their damn job and represent us honestly, not corruptly, not criminally, and look after Australia, because that's what we're paying them to do.
That's exactly right. Well
You're dead
said.
right, mate. All right, brother.
Wade, see you again
Talk to you
soon.
soon.
Thanks, mate. Catch up with you later.
Bye to the crew.
Oh, whoops. I just booted him. Sorry, Wade. I just booted him because, sorry, guys. I'm still under the weather, so I'm not on my game tonight. Look, on that, we didn't get the flies done last night. Let's actually have a look at them now.
And the Mondays at Maggie's crew is calling for tools down. It's time to stand together. A corrupt and tyrannical government is crushing industries, stripping freedoms and silencing voices. So join us every Monday at the Governor's House in Sydney at 11 a.m. And on Mondays, don't forget Mondays at Maggie's, the Frank and Charles podcast. They will be hitting the streets this week. Mondays at Maggie's. And the Wollongong FUCCP parade will start on Sunday, September 7th at 8 a.m, leaving Helensburgh, parading through Thirroul, Bulli, Port Kembla, Shell Harbour, Dapto and finish at Stewart Park, Wollongong. There will be a barbecue from 1 p.m. with guest speakers. And there is a public protest rally, Stop E-Karen, no to digital ID, no biometric facial scanning, 1 p.m. on Saturday the 13th of September, Piermont Bay Park. And on Saturday, the 22nd of November, there is an Abolish Abortion Australia conference. This will be featuring T. Russell Hunter. And in Victoria, we have the following events. In Melbourne, gather at the Governor's every Saturday to end the tyranny. 10 a.m. every Saturday at the Governor Gates. And join the Justice of the People in Melbourne every Sunday at 4:30 p.m. for a remembrance at the Shrine of Remembrance. And the Freedom Unites Coast and Country Parades will now be held on September the 6th and 7th, which is a Saturday and Sunday. Jodie's inviting everyone to register their interest now. And a stand in the park, Albury Wodonga, are celebrating 5 years. So on Sunday, the 7th of September, they're hosting a barbecue. And the People's Revolution, MMAMV Australia, My Place Australia, and the Worldwide Freedom Rallies are hosting the Australia Unites Against the Government Corruption. Locations are to be announced, and it is on Saturday the 13th of September, nationwide, 12 p.m. We've lost confidence in our government. Let's stand up united and push back. Daily prayer space is held on X at 3 p.m. So whatever you're facing, come along and we can lift you up in prayer. Every day, 3 p.m. on X. Melissa 146233923.
All right. Yeah, big weekend, guys. Anyway, get out there and enjoy it. That's all I say. Just be on the have your head on a swivel. Be with your friends.
Right. All right, so we got the Palestinian and Wollongong in Wollongong, Palestinian
This is
march.
just happening now, guys. We just filmed this before we come in the studio. This little procession goes for quite a while, guys. There is some of the
watch this.
the red flags coming. Not going to mention too much because
I'm videoing. Red forward a big case. See all the flags and
yeah, the wind we got down here, guys, pretty crazy at the moment. But anyway, that's yeah, I can guarantee you there's some of the bad flags in there, okay? But, you know, my point is here, again, Wollongong, if you can get this many people together to rant for Palestine, which I don't mind, okay? All right, you know, but what about Australia? You know, let's get Australia back, and then we might be able to do something about helping others, you know? It's always, you know, like put the oxygen mask on first, guys. Otherwise, you can't help anyone. All right. And not that I'm against helping other people in the world. All right. But you got to look after yourself first. And we are certainly not getting looked after. And that was a perfect example tonight of a small town like Wollongong on a freezing cold night with the wind howling. And I'm telling you, there was a heap of people that went for like up past us. It continually went for 10 or 15 minutes, guys. That's a fair few people. Okay, all ranting there, you know.
Have you seen the? Has everyone seen the mainstream media reporting on us?
Is believed to be part of the groundswell of extremism, labelling police Nazis and terrorist thugs while taking an officer to court over his cancelled driver's licence. The AFP and ASIO have noted the extremist ideology has had a recent resurgence.
COVID and its associated lockdowns fuelled and accelerated spikes in grievance, conspiracy and anti-authority beliefs.
And while subscribers have been around for decades, social media has led to its proliferation. This X forum labelling yesterday's shooting a conspiracy.
It's another false flag. Port Arthur massacre.
We need to get
big time.
disinfected.
Made the big time at last, eh? And Mum's not even here to see it. You know, like, wow.
Oh, good grief! Like seriously, I think that we've lost total credibility after they've shown us. But it continues
all day on the mainstream, guys. It's just been sovereign citizen, sovereign citizen, sovereign citizen.
The mainstream media have actually
cops here today, you know, and yeah, school them that we're definitely not sovereign citizens. Okay, it doesn't work like that. So.
It doesn't, but look at this. This is the 2020 Australian Constitution. This is the overview by the Australian Government Solicitor. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4th, 5th paragraph down. And it says, listen to this, it says, what has been judicially described as the sovereignty of the Australian people is also recognised by Section 128, which provides that any change to the Constitution must be approved by the Australian people. Like, somebody needs to explain to me what the hell they're talking about.
Well, you know, they don't want you to explain it to them. That's why they're shutting us down on every avenue. It's a great chess game, you know, and the problem is, Caz, you know, for our little crew here or whatever it is out there that watches the show, you know what I mean? We've been beating them at this chess game all along.
And it's everybody as well. Look, Amanda's done a great breakdown of the language used in the court case, and so has Wade Glue. Go and watch it. And also Dale Holmes has put out a perspective from an Ollie Delgard perspective of what's going on, and it's very interesting. They've done stellar jobs of reporting it. So go and see this stuff. It's on their pages, guys. But like, it's just continued. Look at this.
The rise of the sovereign citizen movement. He's a so-called sovereign citizen. In terms of the sovereign citizen movement,
self-declared sovereign citizen.
We have got a problem with these so-called sovereign citizens.
Well, we're hearing a lot about this so-called sovereign citizen movement.
The sovereign citizen movement.
Believed to subscribe to the sovereign citizen ideology.
How worried are you about the rise of this sovereign citizen movement?
Because this man lives off the grid and is a so-called sovereign citizen.
I think it's a real concern, James.
Simply as you can, what sovereign citizens and pseudo-law actually are.
Yeah, I'll call it. They're becoming a national security problem.
About far-right extremism.
What about far-left communism? What about far-left communism, you knockhead? And apart from that, yeah, it's bullshit. You know, you are trying to frame us. We put this out. Yeah, go, Caz. Sorry,
yeah. And what about our government? Look, why hasn't anyone been dealt with because of this?
This is for our health in Melbourne live now.
All for your health, guys. All for your health. Yeah. Run you down and shoot you, spray your grandmother in the eyes, backflip her onto the asphalt, smash people at railway stations into the rug and tiles. Like, it's just all for your health. Don't you get it?
Apparently there's never been an EBS in Sydney, and now there's one in the central Sydney. Okay, look at this.
Or other emergency. Repeat, this is a test of the CBD emergency warning system. Thank you for your attention.
Now, in England, they're setting up, and apparently from Portugal or somewhere, I've probably got that wrong, guys, but they're bringing in, and they're ready for a mass, all right? They're setting up, they've passed it in something in legislation about a mass and like hit on people. You know, up to 700. They're getting in portable morgues to hold up to 700 people. So they're looking for this mass casualty event. Hey?
Did you play that last night?
No.
No. Because we actually do. Let's play a little bit of that.
Okay.
Hello again. I rather suspect that our government is planning for war, either against a foreign adversary or a civil war between different factions in Britain. I say this because they've just spent around £500,000 investing in a contract with a company which will provide enough body bags, coffins and temporary mortuaries to handle the simultaneous deaths of 700 people in this country, some of whom will be minus their arms, legs or heads. This, of course, rules out preparation for the outbreak of some new disease like COVID, and means that an act of unimaginable violence is envisaged. In the description to this video, I give a...
What did they do at Port Arthur, guys? They brought in the little bus just beforehand, you know, so they think we're stupid. Like, really, we've seen it all before. But if that's what's going on over there in England, guys, the flags are going up. We got to raise our flags here in Australia, I think. We really do. Any Australian flag needs to be raised. I don't care which one you come under, all right, as long as it's an Australian one. And I think they need to be raised, guys. I really do. If you're a proud Italian, well, put up your Italian and your Australian, but make sure the Australian's on top, because that's a country we're in and that's a country we need to look after.
Yeah, well, let's go to that, actually, and let's have a look at the reaction of people.
Will feel the full force of the law. So we coordinated, we went through some of the numbers. Over 400 people now have been arrested, 100 have been charged, some in relation to online activity, and a number of them are already in court. And I'm now expecting substantive sentencing before the end of this week. That should send a very powerful message to anybody involved, either directly or online, that you are likely to be dealt with within a week, and that nobody but...
Now, he's also said that they're not allowed to raise their flags. So, of course, what have the Brits done?
Well, that's what he's talking about there. That's the cop for raising them. Yeah, the boys have gone on with it, mate. They're painting everything they can get hold of. Buildings, it's just going off. The St. George Cross. So, as I said to you, we've just had someone picked up, you know what I mean, and told to get their flag off their bus, guys. That was today. So the crackdown's coming, all right? We knew it. We know what's happening. All right, what we're going to do is stand our ground. There is no law to say you cannot. And they're going to use, it's incitement against the immigrants. You know, no, it's not incitement. It's pride in your fucking country. That's what it is. In a time of distress, when we need to let it be known that we love this country. So I think we need to fly our flags, guys. I really do.
Yeah.
And
so you got.
You know what makes it even more pressing, Caz, is that the Labor government are not handing out the flags. The Labor officers will not give them out, I'm hearing. Heaps of people contacting me, can't get the flag.
Yeah, so I think everyone needs to get a flag and stick it out the front of your house, or try and get the flags up. And they're just putting them in everywhere. Like I've seen videos of them, you know, guys walking along with ladders, and they're sticking them up all over the place. This is what happens when you tell a people group that you're not allowed to do something.
Yeah,
you know?
In your own country. Yeah, you know, fly your own flag, you know.
5 blue flags on railings either side of the overpass on the M4 going towards Mount Druitt.
Yeah, cool.
There you go.
5 flags up on the M4.
Yep, if you can get photos or videos, let us know. Now, this next story has also triggered something within the UK, and it's pretty sad.
Yes, you have a knife.
You don't. Hey, I'm fucking 12 feet. You're fucking bad and
Why are you fucking with us?
You're fucking kid bashers.
Show the knife. Show the knife. Show the knife.
Fuck away from us.
Show the knife. Show the knife.
Don't touch it.
That's it. That's it. Show the knife. Show the knife. That's it.
Don't fucking touch my little sister. She ain't fucking 12. Where's that fucking catching me?
What's it got world come to when a 12, 13, 14-year-old girl and a sister have got to have a machete and a tomahawk on them to feel safe walking around their own fucking neighborhood? Really?
The sad thing about that is the look of distress. I've seen that look before, and that is the look a little girl gives when she has tried to talk to adults to handle it. Gone to probably the law. She's exhausted everything that she can possibly do, and it's that look of desperation of, okay, I've got to handle it myself, and this is all I can do. And it's a terrible thing. But what's happened is it's incited a whole heap of memes. And then you've got these as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We use everything against them. You know, everything they do, we turn into good guys. You know, they just keep throwing us lemons, and we just keep producing the best lemonade out there. So bring it on, guys. More lemons, more lemons. We love them.
Now, this is from Babylon B because she was arrested. They arrested that girl.
Yeah, she was arrested.
Anyway, she's since been, because of the public rage, she's since been released, and the people who are harassing her have been arrested. But Babylon P have said UKNX plan to stop rape gangs by arresting all potential rape victims.
All right, Dave Vella's just telling us too that they're in a war, guys, over there. They're in a real war. So yeah, probably a good tactic on their behalf over there. But as they're hanging the flags, they're taking down the cameras.
That's why they were doing what they were doing. Okay, I was trying to figure that out. Yeah, okay. Now, in the United States, like this is an Aussie, and she's talking to people about I wanted to play this the Indian age visa. This is outrageous. Have a look at this.
Every person in Australia who's got parents overseas who wants to bring their parents to Australia permanently or for a very long time should know about this visa, subclass 804. I'm sure many of you have heard about the contributory parent visa. This is the cheaper version of the contributory parent visa. However, the only trick is that one of the parent has to be of the age 67 years for you to take advantage of this parent visa subclass 804. So how much is the visa fee? Well,
you know what I think they're doing? I'm wondering, is it possible that we've lost so many aged people that they've got to plump up the amount of old people living in Australia?
For what they've knocked off in the nursing homes.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Is
that what's going on here?
Who knows, man? Who knows? But worth looking into. Someone out there. There's plenty of us out there to looking into this stuff. But look, definitely a population replace, as well as and look, what they want to do, guys, is drive us to civil unrest. All right, and that's where we're not going to do that. Okay,
Yeah,
it's not going to happen. Okay.
You can see by the politicians' reaction how well we're doing. They would not be doing this if so. They've actually opened themselves up and they've told us exactly what's working to trigger them to this point.
Don't worry about a small can of get a small can of wasp because there's a lot of wasps around, guys. Don't worry about the WD-40. But yeah, wasp killer's a better one to carry around if you can get a small can of that. Works really well. A lot of wasps.
All right, now this guy, he does a lot of Q drops. He's basically linked Q drops with the
67's the pension age, Caz. That's the other thing. There's probably something in there where they get paid. When they come in here, they get the old age pension. But I bet you I can't get it when I turn 67.
But why would they do that? The only thing I can think of is my question is it because they've wiped out so many of them and they have to pump up their age population? Anyway, let's have a look at this because this guy has linked the Q drops with Elon.
Do you know what I love? Winning. And you can feel it. Do you know what I love? Being right when it comes to truth. And do you know what I like? When the world start uniting. Look at this, people. This is another example. And again, the labels, people have to let go of the attachments. Elon Musk, again, is getting involved with the UK with this rape gang inquiry. And look what he's just put out. I would like to help fund legal actions against corrupt officials who aided and abetted the rape of Britain per the official government inquiry. Please reply below for consideration. That means a lot more of the world going, I want to get involved too. I want to get involved. Everyone wants this to come out. Q post, 3 movies playing at the same time. This now makes more sense. Pfizergate, Panic in DC, and Guardians of the Paedophiles. Well, we've seen there's been over 85 local authorities in which gang-based sexual exploitation of children is taking place. It's all coming out. It's the governments. It's the councils. You've still got Reform that have done their Doge councils. That hasn't been released yet either, and that will spread. Remember, September is a big month. Donald Trump is coming over after the Freedom Rally, which is hosted by Tommy Robinson. And if you can't get over that name, Elon Musk reposts it as well. Look, revolution is coming. Nothing can stop it. The silent majority will be silent no longer. Join us in our stand against tyranny on September the 13th. Join us, the people. Don't worry about one person that you can't trust. Join us, the people. It's massive. You got Elon Musk now putting it out there. General Flynn putting it out there. Everyone is putting it out there. It will be a moment in history. And just after that...
And he's quite correct because Elon Musk has got 224 million followers.
Yep. It's getting out there, mate. And that's great. You know what I mean? Yeah, we just got to use everything, all these, whatever they are, all these people, you know what I mean? But anyway, I think, I think that, Trump with no tie last week told us something, guys. I really do. I think we're about to see a lot of stuff come down because the job's done. And I just hope that's correct. I don't know, but I really hope it's correct because they're going to come, and then, probably more tyranny we're going to copy, you guys. If they get the relief over there, don't worry, the pain's going to come on here, all right, because they ain't going to give up easy, all right? You know what they do? They just dig their heels in and they go again, just like we're seeing them do now. We caught them out. We put out their narrative, all right? We've publicised it for the last 4 weeks, and, here we are.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is as well, there's Trump's doing amazing stuff over there. Look.
And President Trump's executive order guaranteeing fair banking for all Americans does just what it says. Look, for the last 15 years, since the Obama administration, your viewers might remember Operation Choke Point, when thousands of Americans, law-abiding Americans, were debanked. So at President Trump's direction.
So there's no more debanking. So that nonsense about, us not being allowed into our banks and things like that, which we have, our people have been debanked, Trump's just basically gotten rid of that. And also he's got Soros in his sights as well.
Society Foundations has funneled millions into the groups behind the protests that we've seen over the last few years, like Indivisible. That's the group behind the national Tesla protests. It's gotten more than $7.6 million since 2017 from Soros' foundation. Then there are the protests here in Washington being put on by a group called Free DC. It also gets money from nonprofits like Community Change and Community Change Action. But
you see why
money,
these? Yeah.
Yeah, you go. You take it.
I was going to say, you see why, you know, Trump's mentioned so much about central casting guys, all right? Because, you know, you're seeing it now that if he'd have taken out a player here and a player there and a player there, that would have changed their game altogether, all right? He's had to sit back and look like, and he's playing both sides of the fence, do what he's ever had to do to get this up to a place where they've now removed their ties, and I think we're going to watch the dominoes fall, all right? Why? Because now, if everything has gone to plan, they can start taking out, and I think already have taken out most of the big players, right? But in the public view, they couldn't be taken out because it would be, oh, Trump's a dictator, Trump's crazy, he's doing this, he's going into countries, taking out their... No, it had to be done. The people had to see it. And, you know, this is an unbelievable... This is what's going on. This is one unbelievable plan that the good Lord must have his hand on, guys. Must.
That's it. All right, we're being taken out tonight by Steve Carter, one of our own, and he has written a song about chemtrails. So, Dave, if you would like to wrap up, close the show, I shall hit play.
Yep. Just look, guys, whatever you're doing, you know, you can see what's coming. All right, now, as I just said to you, they've told us not to fly our flags. Okay, they've already started. Right, the cop said that your car or your bus is now on a, like Mel's used to be with the guns, you know what I mean, where the cops pick her up every time. It's actually on a red flag. So every time a highway patrol car sees it, it's going to red flag it with a note on there that he's not to be flying flags. This is what they're doing to us already, guys. All right, that's straight from the horse's mouth, straight from one of our people. He's on the show right now, Kim. So they're started. So I think you better start. And you better let them know where you stand, and you better start flying your flag, I think, because I'm proud of my flag. You know, as I said, my granddad was a Raditcher mate. I don't care. I really don't care. You know, I'm fighting for my granddad, man. I'm fighting for the future, and I'm fighting for the past because they were sucked in the past, and we now know the truth. So we should be fighting 3 times as hard as my granddad ever fucking fought for us. All right, and he went away and he come home. So.
Maybe we should all get wraps on our cars of the flag. You know, like the General Lee.
That'll mark them.
What was it?
Anyway, guys,
get the Aussie, Lee.
Yeah, let's get the Aussie spirit back, eh? That's all we need. All right, this is a peaceful, loving country. It always was. All right, and it always will be, as far as we're concerned. So do not let this narrative beat you. It's very unfortunate what's gone down in Victoria. Okay, but obviously, you know, it's a big population and these things happen. But I can tell you, for 10 years, that guy's copped the heat. And, you know, we'll probably see a lot more of that come out as we go further into it. It's already out there now, but I don't want to talk about it. Okay, I just feel for all involved. So good night, guys.
A song about chemtrails. I look up and see something that I can't quite explain. Why? Could you do such a thing? We speak to God consciousness, our creator, the earth and our life giver son. Why, oh why, oh why? The karmas of earth do no harm, hence the repeat the karmas of earth, or do no harm, hence the same to humanity. So we have to change our ways and find peace with solidarity. We know we can achieve this when we find love from within, which shines throughout. The world is everyone's oyster when we share in love and stay even. Simply stop wars now when men truly find themselves. Remember, you signed up for this alphabet, man and woman it is. That's why you're here, that's the way it's been for eternity. You didn't come from same, we were opposite then, to finally become one through meditation, connection to your soul. We resonate with earth so peacefully. Shoes off, follow your breath, then ask why Mr. Chemtrail do you poison me? Just like the sun and earth, we come from connection. Royal Australian Air Force, it's time for you to explain. Thanks for the good cruise, thanks for love, and thank you for our defense. But there's a chink in the armor, let's sort this shit right out. Through breath we all heal and find love and connection within. Just one question, can you please explain the barium, strontium and aluminium? Now please, as you know the law is do no harm. Yes it is do no harm. So we ask why overdue diligence, GovCo government, just park up your broom planes and get grounded. Find yourselves, ask for wings next time and you may return as a bird. It's chemtrail, explain to the people time. Please explain.